All right, so the battle is on between Parara Mock News and the very dark black man. Okay, so this is really, really funny. We all know that Parara does mock news where he talks about what's happening in the country, home and abroad, and he analyzes it and just gives his 2 cents and moves on to the next topic. And the very dark man is someone that is always very vocal too, always creating content and giving his 2 cents too about things he sees happening in the country. And he focused more on things that are happening in the country and trying to be this advocate and stuffs like that. So seeing these two going back and forth, to me, it is really, really hilarious. So the video that you saw at the beginning, remember that the very dark man trended recently when he came out and said millions of naira from his bank account for his foundation was missing, and that really made a lot of people to come out and start talking. A lot of people felt like he has moved the money from his foundation account to his personal account, and now he's pretending that somebody stole over 180 million naira or so from his account. And a lot of people did their video. So Parara was one of those people. Of course, as a mock news, there's no way something like this will happen in his country, and he will not talk about it. Okay, and you know that the very dark man is very controversial. Like everybody, it's always talking about, if he says something, blogs repost, people talk about it. So then Parara also jumped on the bandwagon and did a video. But I feel like probably the way Parara did the video did not sit well with the very dark man, because Parara came out, you know how he does the stuff with the board explaining, and Parara on that video, you could see that Parara was saying that the money did not just go as a bulk, 100, was it 180, or I don't remember how many million he said was missing, but Parara was saying that they were removing the money bit by bit. Okay, Parara said stuff like they first of all removed 50 million naira, 40 million, 13 million, 20 million here. That's a little bit, and little bit, and little bit, and little bit. That what he's saying is the truth. That money indeed is missing. That he doesn't know what the very dark man is saying. Okay, and he said if you sum up all of this 40 million here, 13 million here, 20 million here, 50 million there, if you sum it all together, it amounts to that amount that the very dark man came out to say was missing from his account. And he continued in his analysis. Now remember, after a lot of people started doing video about this stuff, we saw one of these singer came out and started laughing and saying that the very dark man is working on a project up north or somewhere, that they got people on that one. Then not too long, the very dark man now came out and said he knows why he did that video, that no money was missing, that he just wanted to show how silly people can be, that the whole masses started running with this whole talk of money is missing, money is missing. But at that point, I feel like it was too late and people didn't even want to believe what he was saying. Some persons did believe the first story that he came up with, where he said money was missing from his account, okay, calling on Zenith Bank to come and figure this out and whatnot. Same way he cried out when 100 million naira was paid into his account, and he said, I woke up this morning, I saw 100 million, I don't know what's going on, and all of the whole 9 yard. So now I just feel like it is so funny to see that the very dark man is coming out to call Parara out. Meanwhile, when you look at the both of them, they create similar content, okay? Even though it's not exactly the same content they create. Parara talks about things he sees happening, okay, in a funny way. Hence, he's just his Parara mock news. In a funny way, he passes his message. The very dark man comes out saying he's advocating for this. If somebody does the same way, he just came out and called Burna Boy, telling Burna Boy that the way Burna Boy is behaving, now Burna Boy is now making people to feel like what Acme said, that Speed Darlington about PDD and the baby oil thing is true, and that Burna Boy should not be talking so much, that he's just discrediting himself or belittling himself and all of the whole 9 yard. But that's the same thing that the very dark man is talking about, is doing. If you notice, the very dark man is now doing too much. If you check from the beginning, very dark man started well. He started good. I think his intentions were good. But at this point now, the very dark man is now wanting to be on the blogs by fire by force. He wants people to always talk about him. So he would just do silly things or come out and argue with people and fight and continue to post and drag people back and forth. That's one thing we noticed that he's now doing. He's kind of now losing focus from what he came out and what he wanted to do. But we kind of understand, when you start something and you feel like this, you didn't see yourself going as far as, but now his blog, he has millions of people following him. He has millions of people tuning in whenever he has something to say. Hence, he can come out now, 2025. This is just January, the beginning of 2025, coming out to post that video where he said, "Oh, I feel like a lot of you are just silly. You just move with anything you see. I just wanted to prove to you people. That's why I came out and said money is missing." And I'm like, yo, even you, something that other people were doing that you were criticizing them for is the same thing. You are now the one coming out to call the masses gullible, that you just said something and they started running with it. And now you're calling Mock News, Panara, and these other people that reacted and called your name on this money thing and said you should come and explain that, oh, see how foolish they are, see how silly they are. But you have been speaking on other people's case. Does that also mean that you too, you are silly, you're gullible and foolish also? So somehow watch yourself and watch the type of things you do before you start pointing fingers, because you create content also. And as a content creator, if you are covering, let's say, gist, or you call yourself this advocate, when you're advocating, you will be advocating for people. So anything that happens, you will come out and talk and give your own 2 cents. The same way you came out and talked about DNA when it was Mobad's case, asking Wumi to go for DNA. All those things are things that you were not invited to. So if you feel like Mock News Parara was not invited, but he came in analyzing, talking about 20 million missing here, 15 million, 13 million, 50 million, that it is silly and his analysis is silly, then you too, your analysis were silly, because when all these things happened, nobody invited you into those topics. But you felt like, oh, you're a citizen of Ghana, you want to talk about it. When you make yourself a public figure, then people are going to talk about you, okay? You came out online and said money was missing. Before you came out and said money was missing from that your Zenith Bank account, nobody came out to do any video saying they don't trust you with the funds that is being given to you, okay? But you were the one that came out and said money is missing. And if you know that money is not missing from your account, then that is a very terrible thing to do, because you were calling on Zenith Bank to come and investigate and tell you how come your money went south. You wanted to make it look like it's Yahoo people, and you know fully well this Yahoo thing, the eye where people they take, they look Nigeria people, this Yahoo thing. And with the crowd where you don't get, people they watch you, people they see what you they do. So you coming out to hint and make it look like Yahoo boys don't move money from your account, it means that you too, you not get sense. You understand? You not get sense, because you not go feel they advocate for one thing at the same time you they do another thing. Now, if you watch up to this extent, let me know what you think about this back and forth between, or should I call it back and forth, but we're waiting to see if Banana is going to respond to the very dark man. But at this point, it's the very dark man coming up. That is a very long video. I just wanted to clip the beginning part of it so I can use it to explain to people what is going on. But we're going to keep an eye on Parara's Facebook and Instagram page to see if Parara is going to respond back to the very dark man, because I think it's going to be hilarious. Both of them get out. May both of them fight. No fish out.